Hot. How much time?
You're on.
I love scotch. I love scotch. Scotchy, scotch, scotch. Here it goes down into my belly. That is good.
You're on the air.
How are you? You look awfully nice tonight. Maybe don't wear a bra next time. How much time till we're on?
You're on, Ron.
What?
We're on the air right now.
I'm ready. Good evening, I'm Ron Burgundy. Here's what's going on in your world tonight.
It was the 1970s.
Looking good, San Diego.
In a simpler time,
Hey, Garth, how's the divorce?
Oh, not so good. I'll probably never see my kids.
Fantastic.
it took a simpler man
Follow leads, confirm sources. Real journalism, my friend. Great. Right on.
Now, what's a lead?
to deliver the news.
I have some very urgent and important breaking news. Cannonball!
Will Ferrell is Ron Burgundy,
Who's that handsome devil?
a Californian so popular,
You stay classy, San Diego.
he could have been governor.
Hey, I like that fatty.
Oh, Mr. Burgundy.
Anchorman, the legend of Ron Burgundy.
Burgundy did it! Hi-yo! Oh! Ron Burgundy is down and it is bad!
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and 60% of the time, it works every time. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Loud noises!
Loud noise. I don't know why we're yelling. We are dorking out about 2004's Anchorman, directed by Adam McKay, written by Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. Stars Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate. Adorable. She's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh my God.
And her wardrobe, I'd wear all of it.
I was thinking the same thing. I wanted it all.
Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, David Koechner, I think. Chris Parnell, Catherine Hahn is in there, Fred Willard. There's so many people. Vince Vaughn, Danny Trejo, Jack Black, Paul F. Tompkins. We love him.
Oh, so good.
Tim Robbins, Luke Wilson, Ben Stiller. Got little baby Seth Rogen in there. Tons of people. Did you see Anchorman in the theater?
Yes, I did. And I was lucky enough to go to a preview like a couple of days before it was nationally released. And it was with a big audience that was totally in.
That's
And it
awesome.
was so much fun. I laughed so fucking hard.
I did too. I saw it opening weekend, crowded theater. I laughed so hard, I cried at one of the scenes, and we'll get to it in a little bit. But I posted some pictures online because, again, I watched it again, and that scene in particular makes me laugh so hard I cry. There's something about it that fucking kills me. But like, this movie was really fun, and I'm really glad that we picked something fun for right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all have heard, but we're having, there's a lot of news going on in America right now. So I said to Sonia, can we just pick something that's just completely frivolous and guaranteed to give us smiles?
And this was it. I think this was the right choice. So if you haven't seen Anchorman, what are you doing? It's on Netflix. It's on Paramount Plus. It's everywhere. Go watch Anchorman and come back. So this movie is set in 1974, and Will Ferrell is playing Ron Burgundy. He's like the local anchorman, most popular anchorman, I guess. He's number one. He's number one in San Diego. And he has his like news team are like his best friends. So it's like Brian Fontana is Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd's always good. Like
He's so funny.
So funny. And then we have the sportscaster Champ Kind, and then Brick Tamlin is Steve Carell, and he's the meteorologist, and he has an IQ of like 48. And I have to say, Steve Carell really fucking he was funny when I saw this before, but something about him made me laugh extra hard this time. Just
when they have that scene where all the anchors are fighting from the different stations and he goes to the other side, it's like laughing at his crew.
You
Like,
said
"Wait, get over here."
You said Heine.
That visual made me laugh so fucking
It's
hard. It
just-
still does. Yeah.
Like he never understands what anyone's talking about. He is only good at giving the weather because the weather never changes in San Diego, is my guess. And he's just like, why are we yelling? I love Lamp. All of his random things were just cracking me up. So they are the number one news team in San Diego, again, 1974. And they're gross. They're sexist. They're just like telling women in the office not to wear bras. Every night is like a party. They're just,
I love scotch.
I love
Scotchy scotch goes to my belly.
So they find out they're number one and they have another party. And at the party, Christina Applegate shows up and Ron is like instantly like in love with her and all of his like shitty lines don't work. He's like, I'm kind of a big deal. And she's just like, okay, cool, whatever. And you get it. I get why he's instantly in love with her because she's Christina Applegate. And
yeah, she's smoking hot.
She's smoking hot. And Christina Applegate she's just really funny. We did a whole episode on Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which we love.
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Right on top of that, Rose. She's just a very funny person. And I'm glad I want to give her all her flowers right now. Like,
yeah,
when
absolutely.
She does these comedies, she goes toe to toe with these male stars, and she is just as funny as them. She's really good in this, I think. So apparently, so the whole thing is she was hired because they are being forced to have diversity, which means they hire a white woman.
I know. Oh my God, yes.
And this whole movie is based on, I guess, Will Ferrell had saw some interviews with newscasters from the 60s and 70s, and they were all talking about how sexist it was. And so that's where this came from. And they are horribly sexist. Like the minute she shows up, the news team is like, well, someone needs to sleep with her. It just has to happen. And they all take their turn, like making their move. So, Champ, the sportscaster, like clumsily tries to touch her boob and then she punches him in the nuts, which made me laugh. And here's my favorite scene. Paul Rudd opens up this like secret wall in his office, and he's got all this cologne, and he's gonna wear his cologne called Sex Panther, and it's got bits of real panther in it. And he puts it on, and he's talking about how it's been tested because 60% of the time it works every time. And then he walks through the office, and
everyone's gagging.
Everyone starts gagging and throwing up.
What does the one woman say?
So Christina Applegate's like, what's that? It smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food. She runs off. And then another woman says, sorry. She says it smells like Bigfoot's dick. And I don't know why it makes me laugh so hard, crying every time. It smells like Bigfoot's dick.
And then Paul Rudd, man, 20 years ago, he still looked the same. He's a wizard.
He is a wizard. Then the next scene, they're like hosing him off outside the studio because it's so gross. I think, Steve Carell also tries to make his move by saying, like, would you like to go to the pants party? And he's like, and he's just so dumb. And she's like, do you mean, do I want to go to the party in your pants? And he's all, yes, that's it. And she's all, no, thank you. Then he invites some other guy and he's like, no, thanks. It's just, oh my God, it's so funny. And then Ron Burgundy tries a different tactic with like I would love to take you on a tour of the city, like show you around, like as a professional. And when she says yes, he instantly gets a boner.
Gigantic Woody.
Like, yeah, comically large boner. Like, it's
Like, you have a huge erection right now.
it's the pleats. It's the pleats of thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh through the whole episode. Okay, calm down, Sonia, calm down. The movie just made me laugh really hard. But he does take her out. He shows her around. He takes her to dinner. He plays the jazz flute.
Oh my God.
Which I totally forgot that was a thing in this movie. And then he, invites her back to his place and he takes her to Pleasure Town. That's their term. And then their whole thing is they're going to keep the relationship secret, and the dude can't keep a secret for 5 seconds. He goes in the office, he instantly tells all of his friends, and he even announces it on the air, which is really embarrassing for her. And he's like instantly in love with her. And all the guys are jealous and they're like, what is love, Ron? Like they don't even know what love is.
Love is.
And then they sing Afternoon Delight for some reason.
I had the soundtrack for this movie and I used to play it all the time. And Will Ferrell would just do bits in between the songs and sometimes would talk over the songs. And they have a song in the 70s called Shannon. And it was about a dog that dies. I mean, there are all these weird songs that in the 70s. And so Will Ferrell starts to play the song, and then all of a sudden he goes, I can't listen to this for one more note.
It's so weird. Because we also had like Ben, right? By
We
Michael
had
Jackson.
Ben, and then there was Wildfire, which is like the horse that takes off and she can't find him. The 70s were wild, y'all.
Well, and then there's Cats in the Cradle, which
Makes everybody cry.
I can't change the station fast enough when that song comes on.
I get like that with Bye Bye Miss American Pie.
I don't want to hear that one either. No.
I'm like too fucking long.
I also don't want to hear Imagine by John Lennon because it makes me so sad.
Yeah, same.
There's just certain songs. Christina Applegate is now like, she feels, what happened? Ron is he's going to be late. He's running behind. He gets into an altercation with Jack Black, who's playing like a motorcyclist, and Ron is eating a burrito in his car, like you do, and he's like, it's too filling, and he throws it out the window and he hits Jack Black. And they get into a fight on a bridge that ends with Jack Black
throwing his dog.
Punting Ron Burgundy's dog off a bridge.
Which he's in, and I think he's totally correct. I think like he has a meltdown. He's like completely upset, like, oh my God, no. And when he's calling Paul Rudd in the phone booth.
Yes, I'm in a cone of despair. So he's, because his dog has been punted over a bridge and he's so upset, he is late, and Veronica, Christina Applegate, fills in for him, and she does amazing. She's very good at the job, and she gets really good feedback and she gets really good ratings, so they make her a co-anchor. And because Ron is a 70s man baby, he can't handle it, and he is super shitty to her. He starts playing all these pranks on her. He's doing all these stupid prank calls that are so obvious that it's him. What else did they do? Oh, they're like fighting, but like on the air over the like credits, because you used to see.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm gonna punch you in the ovaries.
When you watch the local news back in the day, you would see them talking to each other, and you're always like, what are they saying to each other? That's what they're saying.
Well, I want to say this also, Sonia. I'm sorry. So the Adam McKay, who's like the co-writer of this, and he worked with Will Ferrell for a while. He's from Pennsylvania. He's from the Philadelphia area. And in the 70s, I was living in the Philadelphia area, late 70s, early 80s. And there was an Action News
Yes.
And there was a guy named Jim O'Brien. It was like a huge star in action news. Like he would go to the schools and like the kids would freak out. Like you would think Rocky showed up or something. Yeah, that was a big deal. Like local news was everything. Everyone. So Jim O'Brien, whose daughter was Perry Reeves from Frasier.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he had like a morning show. He like is on the news in the morning, and then he was on radio in the afternoon, then he was on the news at night. He was like an animal. And then he had a show on the weekends called Prime Time, where he would just do daring things with Jim O'Brien.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's a whole point to the story. He dies in an accident where he jumped out of an airplane. He was parachuting, and his parachute didn't work, so he splat.
Oh my God, he was doing it for the news.
He was not doing it he was doing it for one of, or I think he was doing it for fun. He was a real adventure guy. Like it was this whole thing. Anyway, so it was horrifying. He dies, and like everyone was freaking out because he was super popular. And then the jokes started happening.
Oh boy.
And my favorite was, I'm sorry, please don't tell Perry Reeves this, but what was Jim O'Brien's last assignment? Covering Philadelphia.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty.
I'm terrible.
No.
Bad. Oh, bad.
I'm so bad. No, younger people probably don't watch local news, so they don't know what this is. But my parents still watch the local news. Like when I go over to visit, like it is on. My parents are also obsessed with the weather. So it's like nobody's allowed to talk when the weather's on. It's like, the weather's on, Josh. Like, but we watched we had ABC News here, and well, actually, I mean, we have lots of, we have CBS local
KTVU.
News. Yeah, we have KTVU, which was my favorite because that was Dennis Richmond. I love Dennis Richmond.
Oh, Dennis and Elaine Ferrell.
Yes, they were my favorite.
Yeah, same.
I love them, but yeah, all the local news people were like, they were big deals, and if you saw them out in public, you were like, oh my God,
it's the sports guy that's here.
Sports guy, and they would go to like things at the grocery store, like meet and greets, and
like a DJ. Like seriously, like it was the same thing. They did the same kind of promo.
Yep. And
so like a news anchor was a star in a local area.
Yeah, they were kind of a big deal.
They were.
Yeah, so it's definitely a thing there, and it was like it was a big deal when they started putting women in the anchor chair, and it was a big deal when they started putting black people in a chair. I think Dennis Richmond was one of the first black people to to anchor local news here in the Bay Area.
I thought he was very sexy.
Totes. I also was like, he definitely.
He could have had this.
Yeah, look up some of the old pictures of Dennis Richmond.
Dennis Richmond, KTVU, yep. And Mark Ibanez, I thought he was kind of cute.
Oh yeah,
he was a sports guy. Yeah.
But we grew up watching local news, so they are now broken up, and they are just brawling all the time. They're pulling all these pranks on each other, and he is really shitty to her. She's just trying to do her job, and he's being really shitty. Before we get to their really big fight, though, we get a news team fight where all the local news teams meet up and get into a huge brawl that escalates very quickly. And that's the one that has, like, one of the news teams is Vince Vaughn, who pops up multiple times.
So funny in this.
Yes. This was like post old school, pre 40-year-old virgin. So Vince Vaughn had done Old School, which was like a Judd Apatow movie. This one is produced by Judd Apatow, I believe.
But it's not an hour longer, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for keeping it to 90 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
And then another news team is led by Luke Wilson, who has a really funny running joke in this movie where his arms are getting chopped off. And then Tim Robbins, who used to appear in comedies all the time back in the day, is rightfully the news anchor for the local public
the PBS station,
which is very spot on casting. And then they get Ben Stiller from the like Univision, which is really,
Right.
but you know,
Okay, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say get John Leguizamo or somebody, but
totes.
yeah.
But they get into a huge fight that escalates, and of course, my favorite is Brick just running around with a grenade.
Where'd you get the grenade?
I don't know. He's just running around with it going, ah! At some point, he picks up a trident and throws it and like fully kills somebody. Luke Wilson loses an arm. Like, it is bananas. And then they all scatter when the police show up. But that's your big star-studded moment. Women around the office are starting to kind of rally around Veronica because they know that she's really good at her job, and all the women are getting sick of the sexism. They all go out one night, and Catherine Hahn, in a small role, tells Veronica, hey, Ron will read anything that's on the teleprompter. And so they're doing their newscast, and instead of his usual sign off of stay classy, San Diego, he says, go fuck yourself, San Diego. And because he just reads whatever's on the teleprompter, I love that he doesn't realize what he did. He's just
he just keeps going, okay, that was a good show.
Good show, everybody. Love the hustle. Blah, blah, blah. Like, and you don't swear on the local news. Like,
oh God, no.
No, that is.
Do you remember the one? It was in New York. I don't know if you ever heard this one, but it was one guy said to one of the women, he goes, keep fucking that chicken. And, yes.
I've never heard this.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was Sue Simmons who said, get the fuck out of here. She was really pissed. I was, oh, hello.
Damn. No.
Yeah. It's New York, man.
They don't fuck around in New York.
Yeah. They keep fucking that chicken.
Keep fucking that chicken. So it gets him fired, and he instantly spirals. Like, his beard is instantly too long. He's all disheveled. It's like super hot out. He's drinking milk, and he's like, milk was a bad choice. And he goes to a bar, and he's just being so shitty. And then we get Danny Trejo trying to talk some sense into him, but Ron is also fucking clueless and racist. And he's like, I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand anything you're saying, even though he's speaking English. But okay. There's also a running thing about the panda at the local zoo is going to give birth, and that is the big story that they are all supposed to be covering. So now that Ron is not around, Veronica is going to be covering that story, and she shows up and she's trying to get a good shot of the panda giving birth, which they make look like a woman is giving birth. They have like curtains up, and I don't know. Maybe that's what they do for pandas. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But she's trying to get a good shot, and here comes Tim Robbins, who's like, hey, man, totally down with the whole women's lib thing, and then pushes her into a bear pit.
Was that Bart the bear?
I don't know. Maybe.
There's a bear that's in all the bear movies. His name is Bart the bear.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that was like obsessed with Bart the bear, and she could tell you in detail all the movies he was in.
It probably was.
Yeah, he was a really good bear in movies.
He was probably in The Great Outdoors.
Yeah, like he was like one of those. There was an Al Pacino movie that had a bear. There's a few bear movies. She knew bear movies. Not the bear that I'm thinking of in San Francisco, by the way, or the Chicago show. I mean, we're thinking it's just a bear.
Yeah, bear.
A bear.
So she's in the bear pit. Ron, the station manager played by Fred Willard, calls Ron and gets him to come back. He instantly cleans up, and he's coming to cover the story. And he has this whole debate, should I save her from the bear pit or should I report on my big story? And of course, he's going to save her by apparently jumping into the bear pit himself with no way to get out. And eventually the news team jumps in, and I love the sound effects when they jump in. And it's like the Bionic Man when they all jump in together.
Yes.
And then they show they're physically fighting the bears, like punching them in the face, and then again cut to Steve Carell, and he's like, "I'm riding a furry tractor." There's just like another fight, and like somehow that results in Luke Wilson losing his other arm. So ridiculous. And then Ron's dog Baxter shows up out of nowhere.
I was so happy about that because
Yeah.
Baxter's really cute.
I had totally forgot that Baxter was a thing that was going to happen, and he comes back, and the dog, it's basically like from the movie Babe, where the dog then starts talking to the bear and is like, these humans mean you no harm, and basically Baxter saves the day. It is pretty funny. And then Ron makes out with his dog. And Ron and Veronica get back together because of course they do. And I love her. I'm 72% sure I love you. I was like, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. And it's just,
it's 90 minutes of fun.
It is just pure
silliness.
Yes, exact. That's the exact word I was going for. Pure silliness for like 90 minutes. For 90 minutes, I didn't think about what was going on in the world. It was just funny.
It really works, y'all.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is what we picked. Do you have like an MVP in this movie?
I will. Well, Steve Carell, absolutely. I think Vince Vaughn is really funny in his scenes.
Yeah.
But Christina Applegate just really holds it all together.
I think she does too. She would have been my pick as well. But again, Steve Carell played way funnier to me this time than the last time I watched this movie. I never saw the sequel. Did you?
It's okay. They filmed it in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And it was a big deal. Like because it was like 8 years later or something. It was a long time later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big deal. They filmed it like a few blocks from me. It's okay, but it's not nearly like the first one.
I never heard like really great things about it, which is why I didn't see it. But I do really like this one. And, Adam McKay, of course, went on to do like, 40-year-old. Did he do 40-year-old Virgin? He did, right?
That was Judd Apatow, right?
Was it? I'm like,
oh yeah.
He's done these other movies. I'm sorry. What's the one about the stock market?
Oh, no, he does more serious ones now.
Yeah, he's doing the more serious things, but I totally can't remember the name of the movie, and I'm trying to look it up. Well, he did the Don't Look Up, which is the climate change one with Jennifer Lawrence and Leo DiCaprio and all of that. And then
he and Will Ferrell had a falling out.
Yeah. Oh, The Big Short. That's
The Big Short.
Yeah, and why did they have a falling out? Did Adam McKay get all conservative?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, Will Ferrell is on my cool list right now because
of Will and Harper.
Yeah, I loved Will and Harper. He's also been out on the Billy on the Street doing the loud white guys for Kamala Harris, which is killing me.
I would like the one where Will went to one guy, and I forget what was the movie, the football movie he did. He has said one guy like about exactly like this movie, and the guy just stares at him, and Billy just screams, "No one saw your fucking movie!" and takes off.
I have to say, like, I like Will Ferrell, but I wouldn't say like I'm a Will Ferrell movie person. Like, I've never seen Talladega Nights.
I like it fine, but I'm not into NASCAR. If you're into NASCAR, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Right. And I'm
not.
As shocking. I've also never seen Step Brothers.
Oh, that's really funny.
Which maybe
Blades of Glory.
I have seen Blades of Glory, strangely enough, but not Step Brothers, which is the one that people.
It's really funny. It's very silly.
Because I do love John C. Reilly, so.
Yeah.
Mr. Stella Fane. Maybe I should watch that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I read that there were they wanted Ed Harris to play the Fred Willard part. And I
He
was
would have
like,
been good too, but
yeah,
Fred Willard was perfect.
he was so good. And then they
My son's on a thing called acid.
or he's like, well, come on, we've all seen strange porn before. Oh, okay, fine, sister, I will come pick him. I guess James Spader was being considered for the role that Steve Carell plays, which is an interesting choice. No offense to James Spader, but I think Steve Carell really, really kills it. Alec Baldwin was considered for one of the roles. I'm like, nah, no, thank you. I think they've got the right people here. John C. Reilly was considered for the role of Champ. I'm all, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then for Christina Applegate's role, they thought about Amy Adams, which I was like, yeah, Amy Adams could have done
She
this.
would have been good too, yeah.
Obviously Leslie Mann, because
right,
that Apatow connection. And then Maggie Gyllenhaal was also someone who auditioned for the role. But I think Christina Applegate is perfect.
She's a sunny blonde. She's so California. And she just looks good in a wrap dress. She just looks so authentic. And funny. She's so funny.
She's always so funny. Do you have a favorite joke in the movie?
Loud noises.
It's a good one.
Or scotchy, scotch. Like whatever I'm drinking, sometimes seltzer goes in my belly.
I'm gonna teach my son to start just yelling loud noises.
Loud. Yeah, exactly.
Be perfect for him. Do you want to hear about the top 10 movies from 2004?
Yes.
I don't think we've done a 2004 before, or we just haven't done the top 10 movies anyway. So,
well, wait till you hear this top 10 music, by the way. We're not going to know anything, but keep going.
Okay. Number 10 is Ocean's 12.
Yeah, disappointing.
Yeah, I love the first one so much.
Yeah.
Number 9, Shark Tale. It's just
never seen it.
Never seen it. Number 8, Troy.
Boy, that was stupid.
It was not good.
No.
Number 7, Meet the Fockers.
Boy, that's Sonia's favorite. she just loved it. The Fockers.
Hate Meet the Parents. So I definitely didn't see Meet the Fuckers. The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep. By the way, my son is a big fan of that movie because he likes disaster movies. So I've watched it with him. It's not good.
No.
Number 5, The Passion of the Christ.
Loved it. It's hilarious.
Hilarious. Love it. So good. I watch it over and over.
What's it about? Just kidding.
That movie made so much fucking money. I can't.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. Number 4, The Incredibles.
Good movie.
I like The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Number 3, Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Which I like that one. Number 2, the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best of the Harry Potter movies. And then number 1 is Shrek 2.
I like the Shrek movies. I'm totally on board. I like no apologies.
I think they're fine. I love how much younger people too love the Shrek movies. Like they grew up watching them and they're all obsessed with Shrek, and I love it.
Do you want to hear the top 10 songs from July 9th, 2004 when this came out?
I'm not going to know any of them.
I'm going to fucking make a fool of myself, but here we go. Number 10. Sorry. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, On Fire, Lloyd Banks. Nope. Nina Sky, Move Your Body.
Nope.
Number 7, Usher featuring Ludacris. Yeah.
Yes.
I do know that song.
One. Okay.
Number 6, Slow Motion by Juvenile with Soulja Slim. We're so white. Oh my God. We're so lame. We're so lame.
So lame.
Number 5, Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I know that one.
Yes. Number 4, Hoobastank, The Reason. I do
All
know that
right.
song.
I do know that one too.
Number 3, Confessions Part 2, Usher.
No. It's no. Yeah. So no.
Number 2, Usher with Burn. He had a lot of hit songs. Yeah.
Damn.
And then number 1, Fantasia, I Believe.
Oh, that was the American Idol song.
Oh, okay.
She won that year, and that
Oh,
was her,
okay.
yeah, her winning song. So
She was so good in The Color Purple. Nobody saw The Color Purple, the musical, and the film that came out of it. She's so fucking good in it.
I should watch it sometime because I like her and I like musicals, so I should see it. But I didn't.
It's hilarious.
It's
Just kidding.
hilarious. It's a laugh
Just kidding.
riot. I watch it.
It's
multiple times a year.
It's really I love that movie. When I need an ugly cry, I put on Color Purple.
Yeah.
Because the last 20 minutes of that movie like messes me up.
Yeah, it's a good one for that.
But the musical's really, really good. I totally, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Fantasia's amazing.
I most certainly will.
Yes.
What else are you dorking out about, my friend?
So Netflix, I saw the Martha Stewart documentary.
Me too.
I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I think she was very open and honest. I know people who work for her, and I have a very good friend who was working for her when she was sent to Camp Cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
Martha's not the nicest person. She's a bit, she's strict. Not a warm and fuzzy person, but she really liked my friend. You know, they kind of had a bond. And when my friend quit, because Martha was gone and it was all going to hell there,
Right.
Martha sent an email and she CC'd a whole bunch of people and she had my friend's name in the subject line. She goes, I am very upset that this person is leaving and no one told me about it and what's going on.
Ooh,
And my friend was like, oops, sucks to be y'all.
I'd get that framed.
I would too. I know. I was like, you should do that. Anyway, I thought it was great. I think she was given a raw deal. I think James Comey sucks.
Oh, what a coincidence that dude just loves to go after powerful women, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
It's
It's
so
such
interesting.
bullshit. It's such bullshit. And but a phoenix rising from the ashes, like this woman's life is about busting conventions and just doing what she wants to do. And, you know, she's a perfectionist. She is not warm and fuzzy. If she were a guy, they would say she's just a tortured genius and we have to work with her. Right. Because she's a woman and especially because she's blonde and pretty, they just want her to be docile. And that's not her thing. It's not what she does. I bake at Christmas time a ginger cranberry cornbread. That's a recipe of hers that is a hit. Like every year I make this and it's delicious.
Yep.
She changed the world and I don't think she gets
really did.
She did, and she doesn't get enough credit for it. And she's should have, you know, no, she's not the nicest person for sure. And I people who worked on her TV show, I know, but she's Martha, man. It would be such a dull world without her.
Yeah, and the things there were things that she was doing. She was doing it before anyone else. Like her whole deal that she made with Kmart. And people were like, ooh, like, you know, and she's like, what? Just because someone doesn't make a lot of money doesn't mean they don't want nice things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, this was like such a punchline back in the day. And it's like, no, like what she was doing was super cool. Like,
it was the way I could afford to live in my apartment. I needed to get sheets and towels and shit like that. And I got Martha's stuff and when Kmart opened in New York City, people were like, oh my God, it's so tacky. Everyone fucking shopped there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And she made it affordable to like have some taste.
Yeah. And I took some video and I posted on social media because I didn't know a lot of the stuff about Martha Stewart. Like, I know who she is. I know what she's done, but like, I didn't know a lot about how she grew up and things like that. And to hear her The way she talks about her relationship with men in particular was fascinating to me because
Same.
I don't like, she's not a very tender person. Let's put it that way. And she,
Mhm.
was like, I don't care about what they're thinking about every second of the day. Like, I
I
just don't.
loved that.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't care. Like, you could tell that like she's an actions person. It's
Mhm.
like you can show Martha how you feel by your actions, not your words. And her relationship with men in particular is interesting. The fact that she would have like this man in her life for like 15 years and they're like in bed together and he's like, "Oh, I'm marrying someone else, by the way." And
I mean,
she's like, "Meh, what are you gonna do?"
she's not man-centered.
No, exactly. She's
Right.
not, and
And that freaks people out.
yes.
And also, I mean, I feel bad for her daughter because it sounds like it was a really rough house
Yeah.
to grow up in. I mean, she was privileged, of course. She lived in Greenwich and her parents were rich, but they were just having all these problems. And she admits, I wasn't a great mother. I wasn't
Yeah.
doting on her. She didn't know how. And her childhood sounds rough with her father.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very fascinating person, and I thought the documentary was super interesting, and good on her for being open to sitting down and talking about that stuff. Like, I mean, there's definitely a
Yeah.
couple times where she was like, "Next question,"
Like,
but
I'm done talking about this.
yeah, but she, at least she sat down and did the interviews. I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh, sorry, that's me. Okay. I also saw, did you see it's on Netflix? The Manhattan alien abduction.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's really stupid but fun. It's just
I like stupid fun.
it's really stupid fun. It's a bunch of people that said that they were being abducted and they were living in New York City, which you don't hear about. We can't see the stars where we are because there's so many lights everywhere. So it would be really hard, I think, for a UFO to show up and elevate, like levitate people from their apartments. And I don't know. But anyway, it was really interesting. Also, Tom Papa
Oh
has
yeah.
a comedian, and I don't often watch the comedy specials. I'm like sick of comedy. I've just watched it for so many years, and there's so many bros that do comedy
know.
now that I'm like, ugh, I can't. But it's called Home Free, and it had solid jokes, and it's just about how he and his wife are all their kids are gone. All their kids have gone to college and they've moved out. And he's like, no one prepares you how great it feels when they're gone.
Is this on Netflix too?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll check it.
Yeah, I also there's a documentary on Max called Breath of Fire.
I'm watching this one too.
Yes. Oh my God.
Love a cult documentary.
It's a yoga cult. It's a yoga cult, and it's so far it's really good. I also Fridays become my thing on Paramount. I watch Matlock.
Yep.
And then Elsbeth.
Me too. I'm watching those on Fridays too.
It's
so
making my
good.
day. It's such great TV. And then Bravo, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh my God, this show.
It's so good.
It's so good. I text Margo every time I watch it. I text her something because it's so good. The cat, like they brought in new housewives and I was like, why are they bringing in new housewives? We don't need new housewives. But they brought in Browen, right? I had it right. And I love her. I love her so much. She's so good at this.
She's great. She's beautiful. She's going through a thing. She has a daughter from a previous relationship. She grew up actually in the East Bay. She's from Danville.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and she was Mormon and LDS, and she had a baby when she was like 19, going on 20. And she says that the father of her child, his family rejected her. And really terrible. And her daughter is so poised and so lovely and so well adjusted. Like she did a really good job with her
She
daughter
did.
because she's really just exemplary. But Lisa Barlow, she said in the after show something about how the the parents thought, oh, they thought that she had a miscarriage, so they didn't even know she had a granddaughter,
I
which
don't
is
buy any of that.
no. And it's like, why are you talking about that? So they had to erase it. I'm sorry, I mentioned it, but anyway, it's a really good show. Lisa Barlow. There's at the New York City Marathon was this past weekend, and I love looking at signs that people
Yes.
hold. And my favorite is, the F train. You're faster than the F train. If you live in Brooklyn, you know. But they had one where it was Lisa Barlow with her phone to her face, and they said, "Oh God, what did Lisa Barlow say? I want all this now." Like she's like, "I want everyone on this. I want it." Like
I want the whole team on this right now.
right now, they said Lisa Barlow says she wants the whole team on you right now. Like I'm going to fast track that. That's it. Lisa Barlow says you're going to fast track this. It was so good.
Bravo fans are so clever.
They really, really are. The sign games at those things are just incredible.
It's my favorite.
And then the last thing is Jubilee is this YouTube channel where they have debates, and debate culture is really turned into wrestling, which is and wrestling is wrestling. I don't need it in other things. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Pete Buttigieg spoke to 25 people who said that they were undecided or, leaning towards a third candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually very respectful. And he's so smart and he's so good at this.
Good at this.
He's so good at bridging things with people and meeting them where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really cool to see, because that's really what debate should be.
Yes.
And I want more people to see it, because like that, we should not just be screaming at each other and interrupting each other and stuff like that. Like it's so anyway, that's what I'm dorking out about this week. It's a lot.
That's a great list. Almost everything on your list was on my list, except for I also want to mention Somebody Somewhere is back on Max.
I know. I haven't seen it yet. It's good.
I just love this show so much. And Bridget Everett is so good. And there's just like not a lot of shows like this where it's like funny and it's very sweet. And, there's like a little bit of sadness there. This season opens up with like, there's just a lot of change going on and everyone's kind of moving forward in their life. And she isn't. And so she's, seeing that everybody's moving forward and she's feeling left behind. And we're only like 2 episodes in, I think, right now, but it's just so well done. And I love her so much. And I think
I've seen her do her show.
I bet she's amazing.
Joe's Pub in New York City. And she's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
She's a very large person. Like she's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
She's very tall, and she wears dresses with her boobs flopping out. Like that's her whole thing. And she's a great singer, and she's funny as shit.
Yeah. And she's just special. Like we've talked about certain actors, comedians that are special, and she's one of those people. And I love the show so much. And I 100% know it's going to be one of those shows that I go back to and watch over and over because I love it. I also went to the theater and I saw Smile 2. I watched Smile 1, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And this one is pretty good. Did you see Smile? I forget.
I keep meaning to, but I haven't pulled the trigger. The Substance I saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So the Smile in Smile 1, there's like this entity that's going around. It's like a curse. And when it possesses somebody, they get this big, like creepy smile. And then like, it's kind of the last thing you see. And then you get possessed by this curse. And in the second one, the person who's kind of running away from the curse is like a Lady Gaga type. So it was really interesting to put this weird concept onto like a pop star who like surrounds herself with all these people and has all this influence. And there's definitely some creepy stuff. She has a lot of like substance abuse problems and a lot of troubled people in her life. And so it has a lot to say about addiction and mental illness and things like it's got some creepy stuff. I would have liked a little bit more creepy stuff, but it was spooky enough for sure to get me to peel off all my nail polish while watching it. So
Were you in the theater? You saw this at Alamo or something?
I saw it in the theater. I took my niece Lorelai. She really, really liked it. Like she was holding onto my arm and shivering. So if you're a little younger, maybe it works even more for you because she was into it. And I liked it just fine. So I can recommend that one. And then you went and you saw The Substance.
Yeah, I finally saw it was on Apple and I didn't realize I bought it. I thought I was renting it, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's body horror and it's like if you think The Fly with Jeff Goldblum is gross, you're not going to sit through this. I'm just warning you. It's pretty intense, but I think Demi Moore's great. I love Margaret Qualley. I think it's so smart. I know it's trying to say a lot of different things. And it also is like people complaining, like, it's not very real. Like, it doesn't like it. And I'm like, no, are you kidding me? No, this is sci-fi. Of course, it's not real. Like, well, wait,
what?
Because, I heard it. I must have been on Pop Culture Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying, like, well, what is she, an aerobics instructor? Like, why is that relevant? Like, what is that? I'm like, it's just a fucking movie, y'all. It's sci-fi. Like, she also, slices her back open so she can queef out a model of herself. It's not
like, we're not looking for realism here.
Yeah, no, but it's saying a lot of different things.
Yes.
But I appreciated the audacity. I appreciated how crazy it was. I was like, there's blood spurting at some point, and I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. That's they're not done yet. They're going to keep going with this thing. It starts one way and it ends another way. It was definitely not predictable.
No, it was not. I didn't see that coming.
No, I did not see that coming. I think it's audacious. I think Demi Moore should be getting nominated for awards. I think it takes a lot of guts to do what she does in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene where she's getting ready for a date and then she gradually oh, Jesus, the self-loathing that she has. Oh.
Also, like, I think a lot of women can relate to that scene. Who hasn't like stood in front of a mirror and they're getting ready to go out and you start just picking yourself apart. Exactly. It's upsetting. The movie has a lot to say. And I think I'm reading a lot of different takes where people are like, well, this is about like the trans journey, or this is about feminism. This is about the younger generation taking from the older generation. It's about how women treat each other. It's about how women step on each other to improve their status with men. There's all these different takes that you can take from this movie. And I love that a movie like that is out there for people to see, and that's awesome. It's rad.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
I love a movie with audacity.
It's not. Oh, that's not hilarious. It's not like a romp. It's not like Anchorman or anything. It's pretty intense, but it captured my attention. Like I didn't check my phone. I was like completely absorbed. So that's always a plus for me.
That's a high fucking praise. If you're watching a movie at home and you don't start looking at your phone.
At one point, Sonia, I was like, I paused it because I really had to pee. And then I put off peeing for 20 minutes because I was like, I can't. I got to just keep going.
Dude, that's the highest praise.
That's high praise from me because I have the bladder the size of a dime. So.
Well, and I have like an attention span that's why I like to see movies in the theater, because it kind of forces me to focus. If I'm at home watching a movie, it takes me sometimes 3 hours to watch a movie that's like 2 hours long because I'm like, duh, like I get very distracted if it's not immediately grabbing me. So to hear that this one held your attention.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good list, Margo.
Yeah, we did a lot today.
Yeah, we did. This was super fun. I'm so glad that we talked about a comedy. Let's see how things go this week and see what we want to dork about next week. I know that Gladiator 2 is coming out soon, so maybe we'd like to do the first Gladiator because I don't think we've done that. Maybe that would be fun.
I have not seen that movie in years.
Well, that might be a good one to do. So
yeah.
We'll
send us your suggestions.
Yes, please. We take requests. You can find Dorking Out at dorkingoutshow.com. Dorking Out shows on Threads and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. It's on YouTube. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give us some reviews. It helps us find our people. Or you can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. And if you give us the address, Margo will send you some stickers. They're adorable. Everybody drink. My friend, where can people find you?
You can find me at brooklynfitchick.com. I'm at Brooklyn Fitchick for Threads and Instagram. I'm at Brooklyn Margo for TikTok and Twitter. And on YouTube, I'm getting people signing up. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing promotion for my book in the new year, and I got lots of fun content. I'm producing content. And it's under my name, Margo Donahue.
Yes, definitely sign up for her channel because she shares all the good stuff. If you want to follow me, I will try to stop screaming into the void about the election. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Threads and Instagram. And I mean, you could go to my Facebook, but and TikTok. That's where it's going. And the TikTok. I love the TikTok. So this was really fun. Thanks for doing something fun with me, Margo. I super appreciate it.
I love scotch. Scotchy, scotchy, scotch. There it goes down in my belly.